Okay, hello, my name is Putri Patricia. I'm from B2. Now I want to speak about Magical Heart Fart by JK.ROWLING speech. Okay, next. The first thing I would like to say is thank you. Not only has Harvard given me an extraordinary honor, but the weeks of fear and nausea I have endured. At the thought of giving this commencement address have made me lose weight. A win-win situation. Not all I have to do is take deep breaths, squint at the red banners, and convince myself that I am at the world's largest Gryffindorian. Delivering a commencement address is great responsibility, or so I thought until I cast my mind back to my own graduation. The commencement speaker that day was distinguished British philosopher Barnes Mary Warnock. Reflecting on her speech has helped me enormously in writing this one, because it turns out that I can't remember a single word she said. This liberating discovery enables me to process without any fear that I make inadvertently influence you to abandon promising careers in business, the law, or politics for the giddy delights of becoming a gay wizard. Okay, you see, if all you remember in years to come is the gay wizard joke, I come out ahead of Bernie Mary Warnick. Simple goals, the first step to solve improvement. Actually, I have worked my mind and heart for what I ought to say today. I have asked myself I wish I had now at my own graduation, and one important lesson I have learned in 21 years that have expired between the day and this. I have come up with two answers, and this wonderful day when we are gathered together to celebrate your academic success, I have decided to about the benefit of failure. And as you stand off the threshold of what sometimes called a real life, I want to extol the crucial importance of imagination. This may seem exotic or paradoxical choice, but please bear with me. Looking back at the 20 years old that I was at graduation is a slightly uncomfortable experience for 2 years old become half my lifetime ago. I was striking honestly between the ambition I have myself. What this class of to me expected of me. I was convinced that the only thing I wanted to do ever was write novels. However, my parents, both of whom came up from impressed background and neither of whom had been to college, took the view that overactive imagination was an amusing personal quirk the world never paid a merchant a scare pension. I know the irony strike with the force of a cartoon anvil, not now, but so they hope that I will take a vocational degree. I want to study English literature. A compromise was that is respect service nobody, and went up to study modern languages. Hardly had my parents routed to corner and of the world, then unditched German as suckled off down the classic corridor. I cannot remember telling my parents that I was studying classics that might well have found out for first time graduation day. Of all subjects on this planet, I think that would have been hard put to name one less useful than grammatology when it comes securing the keys into an executive bathroom. Now, I would like to make it clear to parents that I do not blame my parents, that their point of view. This is inspired that blaming your parents for steering you in the wrong direction. The moment you are old enough to take the wheel, responsibility lies with you. And what is more, I cannot criticize my parents but for having that I would never experience poverty. They had been poor themselves, and I have since been poor. I quite agree with them that is not a ennobling experience. Poverty entails fear and stress, and sometimes depression. It means a thousand petty humiliations and hardship. Climbing of poverty by your own efforts, that is something on which the profits, but poverty itself romanticized only by fools. What I fear most for myself at your age was not poverty but failure. At your age, in spite of distinct lack of motivation at the university, where I spent far too long, the coffee barrels writing story, and far too little time on lectures, I had a knack for passing examination. And that, for years, I had been the measure of success in my life and that of my peers. Now I am not to suppose that because you are young, gifted, and well educated, you have never known heartbreak, hardship, or heritage. Talent and intelligence not yet include anyone against the caprice of the fates, and do not for a moment suppose that everyone here has enjoyed a system of unfair privilege and contentment. However, the fact that you are graduating from Harvard suggests that you are not very well acquainted with failure. You might be driven by a fear of failure. The question is for success. Indeed, your concept of failure might not be to be from the first person's ideas of success so high. Have you already found? Ultimately, we all have to decide for ourselves what constitutes a failure. But the world is quite easier to give you a sense of credit if you let it. So I think it's fair to state that by any conventional measure of measuring after my graduation day, I have failed on an epic scale. An exceptional sort of important. I was jobless, a lone parent, and as poor as possible to be in modern Britain without being homeless. The fear that my parents had for me and that I have for myself had become to pass, and by every usual standard, I was the biggest failure I knew. Now I'm not going to stand here and tell you failure is fun. The period of my life was a dark one, and I had no idea that it was going to be. Thank you.